Okay guys, so one question I really get asked a lot, does tactics really make a difference? Now, what I've done is I've actually made a series, well it's on my Patreon, but I made a Division 10 to Elite Division. So we went all over from Division 10, I show every single game from that division, and I use this team. This is like a million coin team when I started the series, and we just finished it very much recently because the patch, of course, that just came out. There's no other visible changes when it comes to gameplay. So that is a team that I did use, and then what it is I ended up also having a 100k team, or just a bit less now. And if anything, if you want to see that series, you actually can. If you're on my Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Don't forget, if you don't get, you can join, get better at FIFA. If you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is a NealGuides guarantee. That is how sure I am. But you can see the remainder of the videos, all the way from Division 10 to the Elite Division. We annotate and we go over and we explain how we did it. And we use very simple game plan. This is the most important thing, okay? In this the Division 10 to Elite Division, it's not like I just abused shot cans or anything like that. No abusive mechanics. No strafe dribbling. No agile dribbling. No crossing the ball. Nothing random. And the reason why I made that division is to show everyone that you can play no matter what team you have, no matter what your tactics are, and no matter what your game style is. I did, now of course on an extreme angle, but I did that to show you that you don't need to do all this shot cans or lack of counter cans. I didn't even use any skill moves in that. I used one skill move, the fake shot. That's all I used in that series. But the point I wanted to show you is, from the knowledge that I've gathered, what happened was I was using this team originally. So from Division 10 to about Division 4, Division 3, Division 4, I was using this team. And then I ended up switching to this team, using my tactics, of course, and nothing changed. The only thing that was variable was my opponent's ability, but my gameplay stayed the same and consistent because I wanted to prove you don't need an amazing team to get there. Now, the question you're going to ask me is, okay, no, you're talking about team, but what about tactics itself? Well, you see, tactics is only 10 or 20%, but for some of you guys it's enough, because some of you guys, you don't have so let's say you have the ability on the ball, you know, for example, how to play the game, but you might not have the ability to work out a tactical setup for the current meta, which is where I come in with my Friday tactics. And then what you probably just copy the tactics and you'd be like, okay, you know what, Neil, this is fine, maybe the 3-5-2 is not attacking enough, and then I put one of the guys in centre mid to get forward. That's the key thing, adjustment. So whereas my tactics, the reason why they do very, very, very well and they work is because for the people that, if you're trying to squeeze out the extra 10-20%, my tactics will help you do that, compared to, because I got a system for defending when you're losing, an alternate, etc., a balanced system. So you got a system for all aspects of the game. But what happens is that people think that tactics is the do all and a die all. Now, you could have the best. This is an example I always give is, there's two examples. A pro player, right? You give a pro player 4-2-3-1 and you just put everything on balanced, they are still going to win their games. You can have the best tactics in the world, but if you know how to play the game, you don't need to. That's why, if you look, when I make changes to my tactics, if you look, I don't make some amazing rap. I mean, if I wanted to, I could just abuse it, just make a video every single day, just change the tactics. But of course, I don't do that. And if you watch my tactics video, people say, well, it was the same tactics. Well, this is the thing. I only update a few things. I don't randomly say, decide, you know what, today I'm going to decide to put the depth on 70 and then pluck out some random reason from thin air. It doesn't work like that. So that's why you might see, for example, the width go from 50 to 60. You might see a chance creation go from, so for example, now in my tactics, you'll see, for example, a lot of them, my depths are much higher in my tactics. After the most recent patch, I got cams on stay forward and I got centre mids on get forward. Now, is that because I'm just doing changes for no reason? No, it's because the way the meta is changing, because of the assisted jockeying that's being patched. People can't defend. Am I explaining this? People can't defend without assisted jockeying. So now they're relying on a park, but they're naturally going a bit more narrow and a bit more lower depth. And they're going back to drop back systems. So now you need more players to counter it. So what I do is I make small incremental changes that adapts to the meta. And that is how I create the video. Sometimes, that's why I say in the video on a weekly basis, I say tactics have not changed that much, just a bit here and there. It saved you watching time. And if I really wanted to milk it, I would just keep my mouth shut and just change a few things here and there, but I don't. And that is why I try to be honest. But it's only 10%. Now, the best analogy, I've been given this analogy very recently, and I think it's actually a very good analogy to give. Maybe not the best, but blessed by grandma. But I'm using my grandma as an example. So let's say if I gave my grandma the best, let's say Lewis Hamilton, for example, right? We all know he's in Mercedes, right? But let's say, for example, there was a new car, and let's say, for example, Formula One car, and I gave it to my grandma. Let's say it was 2 times faster than Lewis Hamilton's car, okay? Do you think my grandma is going to win that race? She might just fly past Hamilton in the first corner by putting her foot down, if she even knows how to change gears, bless her. But after that, she's not going to win the long battle. And that's the point I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, it's that the car can get you so far, but it's your ability. How are you on the ball? And that is why I say when it comes to tactics, you know, my job is to create I word tactics certain ways. Yes, it's true. Before I never used to, but I do it now because otherwise something's just not worth my time. If I'm getting 5K in a video, I'll be honest, it's a waste of time. I'm actually losing money by making that video. That's unfortunately the truth, because the time it takes to test the formation, to put it out. If I get like 10K views, I wasted my time, in all honesty. But sometimes I do it anyway. And the reason why is I want to create a different tactic, and I want you to then pick and choose. For example, I don't like the 4-5-1. I've mentioned this. The 4-5-1, I made that video. Half of you guys love it because you say to me, hey, no, look, I love it because you have a 3 versus 2 situation up against your opponent's left mid and let's say in left back. 3 versus 2, you overlap them and you get through. And people like, for example, to spam the driven pass or to spam the crossing. Let's say they go to me, look, yeah, that's fantastic. I love this formation. But the truth is, I don't like it. So where the formation applies to everyone else, it might not apply to me, and it might not apply to you either. And that is why I have my Friday tactics. So my Friday tactics, I explain what the meta tactics are that I'm using for everyone. And the idea is, let's say you don't like the 3-5-2. Let's say you say to me, you know what, Neil, I can't play 3-5-2. Just say, let's say I can't play 3 defenders. Let's say it's too difficult. Let's say you get killed on the counter. Then all you have to do is just say, okay, you know what? Let me change it. So Neil, that's why I mentioned how to change. That's why I say, you know what? This is too attacking for you. Put it so come back in defense, because I want you to learn how the tactics are changing the gameplay. I mean, yes, you copying me helps me, in fact, because you come back to my video every single week. But I'm telling you this deliberately so you can change it. So then you have to rely on me. You have to be like, okay, you know what? I don't have to wait for Friday for Neil. I know Neil said, okay, you know what? If this formation is too attacking, put him on, come back in defense, and you're defending a 3 midfield and a backline 5 and a 5-3-1-1, then you know to adapt it yourself. That's the key. I want you to adapt it yourself for your play style. That is the idea. My idea has always been in FIFA. People always get the wrong impression, but I teach basic FIFA for a reason. Yes, I lose out on a lot of views by not teaching the mechanic of using, but it's not that important. My job is to teach you the basics of FIFA. The things like La Croquette stuff, you can add that in, but your base has to be at a high level. I want you to be at that high level and then go away, don't come back. If I release a video that interests you, then maybe you click on that video. But I want you to get to that level. But if you just keep watching, like, you know, these videos on mechanic abusing, you just use that, or you shift and change, it's not going to help you. So, and the key thing is adapt, as I said. So let's say, for example, you don't like the 2-5-2 at all. You're like, you know what? You tried putting a striker and come back in defense. You can put the 4-5-1 in there. So do you see? So what it is, on Friday, I release my tactics. And then what happens is, and in fact, I have 2 tactics set up. One on Tuesday and I uploaded yesterday. One which is a casual tactic, and then one on Friday where it's a try-hard tactics. So I'll be honest, I play with a 5-2-1, 5-2-1-2 and 3-5-2 now. If I was playing very seriously, I probably will still be using this formation. Maybe the 3-5-2, to be honest, okay? But the question is, would I rather have a 4-2-3-1 and a 4-4-2 and a 4-1-2-1-2 second variation? Probably instead. I can't have, if I could have 10 of these, I wish, but you can only have 4 because the balance tactics for dynamic tactics, your chemistry. So the idea is that the Friday are tryhards, Tuesdays are like, if you get 20 and 0, but let's say you don't mind getting 18 and a 2 or 19 and 1 and having fun, then that's Tuesdays. On a Friday, I release a new tactic video out, a new one. It might be an update to a 4-2-2-1. I mean, think about this carefully, right? If I wanted to, I could have made a 4-2-3-1 video every single patch, but I haven't because it hasn't changed. I still use the exact same tactics. There's a few things that I've changed though this time, just because of the way people are defending, a bit more defensive, and you'll see, for example, the higher depth, the CDM are joining the attack. Those things will change, just a few things here and there in the build-up play, but most of it stays the same. So that's the idea, is that I want you to just use it, and if I release a video on Friday, just try it out. even if you don't like the 4-5-1, try it, because you never know. This might be the formation for you, because you might be sitting there. Let's say you and your friends are watching this video. Let's say if you're sitting on, you know, you're probably sitting there right now by yourself, right? But let's say, for example, you're sitting on your left and your right, your friends are there, okay? All your online friends, whoever you play with. I don't play with anyone because I don't have any friends. But anyway, let's say whoever you play with, right? What happens is that the 4-5-1 might work for your friend. The 4-4-2 might work for you. The other guy on the left, or the other guy on the left, you might not be able to play the 4-2-3-1 at all. So the idea is you choose what works for you. But the Friday tactics are there as a stencil, and then it's for you to adapt and change. And that's why I say, you know, even with this, and I said, you can watch this, patreon.com. You know what? Worst case scenario, as I said, join it, and if you don't get better after 1 month, I'll refund your money. That is a NealGuides guarantee. The reason why I offer that guarantee is because I am 1000% sure you will get better at the game. It's not just that. There's things, for example, that are people are talking about the chip shots now, right? Let's say chip shots, right? People are saying, oh yeah, chip shots are the meta now. Chip shot was the meta 2nd November when I released the video, not now. So you can actually learn the meta before it becomes the meta as well. But anyway, patreon.com/NealGuides, links down below in the description. Have a look at those videos. As I said, full money back guarantee if you don't get better after 1 month. But I just want to show you, it's just about keeping things basic. The tactics, yes, they're important. Yes, team and tactics, they influence your gameplay. But it's 20%. 80% is all your gameplay. 80% is you driving that car. The other 20% maybe is what, you know, what car you have. Okay, of course, you know, if you're playing with a bronze team and you compare that to a god squad, of course you're probably, unless you're like #Harry, of course you're going to lose. That guy is incredible, of course. He's a top player, one of the best players of this game. Incredible some of the stuff he does. But of course on that action was a bit different, but realistically, 80% is your gameplay. The last 20% is the tactics and the team. I understand why the tactics take people to the next level, because the truth is my tactics setup are done in a certain way for the masses. Like you could be there's rank 1 players that use my tactics, and there's also rank 3 players use my tactics, because it works for everyone. Because the way I do it, I diversify and I make sure there's a different system for every single player in different areas, defensive, attacking, etc., etc. So that's why it works in the end. So it still gives you results. By the end of the day, don't use this and be like, you know what, Neil, your tactics are not working. Somehow they've stopped working. That's kind of the funny thing I hear. Then you go and search, for example, someone else's tactics, and you be like, yeah, their tactics work, and then you end up in the same cycle again and again and again. You want to get out that cycle, not stay in there. But anyway, guys, that is my take on tactics, how it influences the gameplay and team. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace out, guys.